I'm Victoria Fritz in the business news. The UK economy is growing faster than previously thought, according to the latest estimates. The Office for National Statistics revised up its annual growth figure from the third quarter from 1.5% to 1.9%. The energy firm npower has agreed to pay £3.5 million to the most vulnerable customers after an investigation found that it had breached the rules on doorstep and over-the-phone sales. And the Bank of England says there has been a sharp drop in the number of households concerned about their debts. But the bank did warn about the impact of future rises in interest rates on borrowers. Now, good afternoon to you. Energy firms misbehaving, it's not new, is it? But today, npower said that they've been fined £3.5 million for breaching sales rules over doorstep and over-the-phone selling. Its customers told the staff that they could probably be saved money, with no idea whether that was actually true. Now, Sarah Harrison is from the regulator Ofgem. They imposed the penalty.
Specifically, what's happened is that on the doorstep, perhaps one of the most serious failings is the company didn't provide information to customers that was going to allow them to compare fairly the prices and the tariffs that npower was looking to sell as against the tariffs that the customer was actually on, and therefore the customer risked being misled. And the good news, of course, is that npower have accepted that finding and indeed today have agreed to repay £3.5 million to some of its most vulnerable customers in recognition for these failings. Today's decision is the fourth of the investigations that Ofgem has completed into failures by companies to meet the tougher standards now on energy sales. There is a further outstanding investigation into E.ON, and we'll obviously progress that as quickly as possible. But I think the overriding message is that the standards that companies now need to follow are much tougher. They're there clearly to provide greater protection for customers. And the regulator, as evidenced by today's action, will take action against companies, including imposing penalties and seeking redress where the company has failed its customers.
That's Sarah Harrison from Ofgem there. Now, we've had a slew of official data out about the state of the economy here. Some good, some not so good, and it will certainly raise some questions about the sustainability and balance of the recovery here. Britain's current account deficit, now that's the difference between the money we receive from exports and imports, has risen to £20.7 billion, or 5.2% of all economic output. That's the highest percentage level for 24 years. The trade gap has doubled in 3 months to £10 billion. That means we're importing far more than we're able to sell abroad. And meanwhile, household spending is at its highest rate of growth since before the start of the financial crisis. Now, here are some other business stories that we are keeping an eye on for you at the moment. Well, the credit ratings agency Standard & Poor's, they've downgraded the European Union. But it's been better news for us in the UK because we are getting to keep our AAA rating. Now, we've heard some news from the States. The smartphone maker Blackberry has agreed a 5-year deal with Foxconn. Now, they're the big Taiwan-based maker of electronic products and components. Now, Blackberry's also reported a 56% drop in sales today, and shares are down sharply in pre-market trade as a result. And lastly, the Financial Times reckons that Marks & Spencer's, they're going to have a one-off special sale tomorrow. The paper says that really underlines the weakness of trade there. Its shares have fallen more than 10% in value in the past month, although they are actually on the mend today. Let's have a quick look at the markets if we can. European markets are actually on track for their best week since April. We've got BAE Systems there. Their shares down almost 5%, following worries about fighter jet sales in the Middle East. And we've also just had some news out of the States. The economy there growing at a stonking 4.1% rate through July through to September. That's the fastest pace of growth since 2011 and significantly higher than what we all believed. Much of the upward revision coming from far stronger consumer spending. Now, that's all from me. Have a very Merry Christmas. Back to you.
Thank you, Victoria.
Victoria, thank you very much.